Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. The the New Orleans Pelicans, um, just defeated the Sacramento Kings, by 10. I forget the score, but it was by 10 to advance to the semifinals in the new mid-season tournament. Uh, they played the last two rounds in Vegas, so Pelicans will be in Vegas for another week or two, I guess, which is quite diabolical, if you ask me. And they're gonna be one of the first teams there, going from Sacramento, so they'll probably be there tonight. Very diabolical, but a very impressive game. There's a lot of players coming back from injury. CJ McCollum's second game back, where he gets to play more minutes. Um, Trey Murphy, the third's second game back, we get to play more minutes. They didn't play last game, Trey Murphy or CJ. Of course, Najee Alvarado's back, his second game back. I think he's maybe played 6 or 7 so far this entire season. And the Pelicans, as shown, as we've discussed, as now everybody's starting to discuss, is a very deep team. Trey Langdon has done a fantastic job with drafting the last 2 or 3 years. Besides the obvious bust that we drafted, 4 or 5 years ago, Trey Murphy, Daniels, Hawkins, um, Alvarado, who's undrafted, have been fantastic plays. Herb Jones, I can't forget Herb Jones, who had 23, 5, and 5 tonight. Big night for Herb. Brandon Ingram, uh, pretty much took over the game, stood out in the game, had to be doubled throughout the game. Starting more midway through the third, late in the third, they just started to outright double Ingram. He was on fire. Didn't matter what was going on. Didn't matter what kind of shot it was. One-legged fadeaways. He was hitting everything. Um, Herb, of course, another just brilliant, brilliant defensive performance. There's one clip you'll probably see it. Sabonis is in the paint and he faces up Sabonis. Sabonis like spins, he blocks that out. Sabonis kicks it out for a three, and he runs to the 3-point line from the paint to jump and contest the three. Malik Monk doesn't shoot the three, and when he goes to shoot it, Herb has already landed, recovered, and blocked the three from behind him. The last, if y'all watch the game, the last like minute of the actual game, like the last minute 10, I swear it was 20, 30 minutes. It felt like the refs just wanted to slow down every possession. I'm not sure what was going on. They was calling ticky tack fouls, just bullshit fouls. It felt like they were really trying to slow up the game. The last 1 minute of the game, I swear to you, was at least 20, 25 real minutes. I even checked that because I was tweeting it as I was saying it. I was tweeting, Jesus, why are they just fouls after fouls, just slowing down the possessions. We could get no momentum, but we had great defense, so they couldn't get him any momentum either. So um, a big thing, just a big win. To me, it's not about the NCAA tournament. According to, I believe, some people on Twitter, they could be incorrect. I could be incorrect. Getting to the semifinals, it gives you, each gives you, anybody on their team, everybody a 100K. So good for them. They get to make their little bread. But the biggest news story, the biggest story of the game was we didn't need Zion Williamson to win the game. We didn't need him to make a lead. We didn't need him to come back from a lead. We didn't need him to hold off a lead. Um, in no way did we need him at any point tonight. And in the last 4 or 5 minutes, he didn't even play. He played one possession. He came in and he went right back out. So in the last 5 minutes, the best player, the franchise player, the number one draft pick, the guy that was supposed to be the next up after LeBron, played his way out of the game. Trey Murphy was in. I believe that was Daniels that came in maybe in the last 2 or 3 minutes, also to help close out the game. But the last 4 minutes, one of the lineups was like Alvarado, Trey Murphy, Ingram, Herb Jones, and Valanciunas. So that puts Alvarado, Murphy, and Herb Jones on the floor. So that means defense is locked up. So that's why we got to keep that 7 to 10 point lead. It was rocky. They even got it back to within 5. But once it went to 7, and once it went to 10, and it got to like 11, actually got to like 15. It stayed within that range because as much as I thought the rest was slowing down the game, it was bullshit fouls on both sides, but mostly on the Pelicans. In the last minute or so, and again, they were up 10. So I'm not really trying to call it any great conspiracy. I just thought the refs were getting way too involved. The game should have been over, and they did it without Zion. So of course, this is another video with me saying that we need to trade him. We need to move on, get another star that can play. We have a lot of young pieces. If he's obviously not bought in, he doesn't look the same. He doesn't have the same lift. He had 10 points. Um when I started to really get in the game, he had 8 points. And that was like in the beginning of the third quarter, middle of the third quarter, he had 8 points. And he had two. He scored a bucket in the fourth. I think he maybe had 7 or 8 actual field goal attempts in the entire game. This man had 7 or 8 field goal attempts. Um, so just like his quote, it's obviously he's not bought in, and we have a lot of players who can be playing, who should be playing. Hawkins didn't even play. Hawkins averaged 13 off the bench. Hawkins didn't even play. Guys like that could be getting some burn. If not, we can bring in a star or bring in some other young guys with high potential. I'll do another video on that. But again, it was a great win by the Pelicans, the young Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum at 17. He really held the team and gave them some real poise. And it was a great win. Great win by San Antonio. Sacramento. Fox is great. Malik Monk has a stupid high ceiling. When he's on fire, he's on fire. Sabonis had a very, very solid game as well. So shout out to them. But shout out to them Pelicans for getting a dub. Holla at your boy. Like, subscribe to the video. I'll holla.